What do you think we're going to see here tonight between Trojan and Willson?
Personally, I'm expecting a very close race. These two are both very skilled runners. Both run all skills, although I think Trojan also has run every category before as well.
He has, in fact, literally run the all categories category.
Regardless, both of these players are very skilled at the game, and while Trojan might have a bit more experience in the randomizers themselves, it should certainly still be an exciting race.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that, because actually for a long time Trojan didn't really touch the randomizers, and I think it was around the time the tournament was kind of taking shape as an idea that Trojan first even touched them. And I remember his first couple experiences being very, very negative for him. It was a little while before he decided that he really enjoyed the randomizer experience, but now, you know, he's kind of really embraced it, and we could see that in his free-for-all performance, right?
Yep, exactly.
So we are basically ready to go, so we'll go ahead and let them get started in the very near future. Here you can see, of course, the side of the bracket that they are on, with the winner of this match will take on either Mad Insane, the number 2 seed, or Terra21 or Cylindrial slash Synadrial. What do you expect from those two matchups, Shed? Do you think we're going to see the presumptive favorite Mad Insane take those?
I would predict so. Yes. Both Terra and Terra is a skilled player in the game, but is rather inexperienced with the randomizers. And not much is known about Cylindrial, but from the free for all, I'm admittedly not expecting much. So I would expect to see Terra winning that one. And Mad Insane he's been doing so many randomizers recently that I would expect him, with his experience, I'd expect him to take that as well. So likely that the winner of this particular race between Trojandude and Willson will be facing Mad Insane, but obviously it's a randomizer. Anything can happen. We'll see.
Of course. And for your part, of course, you're the number 1 seed in this tournament, based on your outcome in the free-for-all, which you won by a convincing 4 minutes over the next fastest finisher.
Yep.
I'm just wondering what your thoughts are about, obviously, in that particular race, you were able to, take a very convincing victory, but in general, it's a randomizer. What are your overall thoughts about the meaning of getting a faster time in a single race, and whether, what do these seeds mean, if anything?
Honestly, it's a lot of luck. Like, a seed can be really quick, a seed can be slow. You can check some random pickup that ends up being something important, or you could completely miss it and lose minutes, 10 minutes even, and fall behind your opponent. That's the reason randomizers are so exciting, is that things like that can happen. Anyone can win.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I mean, we saw a perfect example of that earlier with Griffs versus Brynhold, where I think Griffs lost a total of around 30 minutes just due to he had not checked the location where Stomp was, and that can easily be the turning point. Do you think we're going to see something like that in this seed today? Obviously, it's random, but just your prediction, what we'll see today.
It's entirely possible. As we said before, Trojan wasn't too keen on the randomizers before, and the reason was entirely that he ran into several seeds in a row where he missed a single pickup that he thought he had gotten, and it ended up being something important. So that's literally the reason why he stopped playing them for a while. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. It always sucks to see.
Yeah, well, that's a great point to bring up, though, because, one of the things about learning randomizer is you're going to have those seeds, and that's just part of the learning process. So you're getting to see different runners deal with that in different ways. And, of course, maybe what it is that actually separates those higher seeds from the lower seeds is that the higher seeds are less likely to get ruined in that particular way, but it's still no guarantee.
Yep.
So it looks like we're just resolving a couple minor final issues with one of the streams, and then we'll be ready to go. But this matchup definitely has a pretty good chance of being pretty compelling. You can see on the other matchups in this particular bracket, there's some interesting stuff that will take place. Fluffy and Meldon should be a pretty good race. Fluffy, Shed, you of course have much more experience with the randomizer groups that kind of pop up on the Discord from time to time. Is Fluffy a common competitor in those?
Definitely, yeah. Usually, if you're in the Discord and you see Fluffy in a voice channel, he's almost always playing a randomizer, and that is frequent.
And Meldon, of course, for his part, one of the two organizers of this tournament, together with Rory Rye. Meldon also joining us in the truck today, along with a couple other competitors. So thanks for their efforts over the course of this match. It looks like our competitors are ready, so we will be letting them get started momentarily. Well, let's have some brief fun, Shed, while they get that going. What is the first pickup in today's seed?
Ooh. Well, common sense would say Keystones, considering that is literally the most likely option. But okay. I'm gonna go with Charge Jump.
That is an interesting choice, and I would certainly enjoy seeing that, especially because we will probably then get to see the hilarity of Charge Jump only BRB.
Oh yes.
Personally, I'm going to take a little twist on it. I'm going to say that it's going to be Wind Restored, and they're going to get Feather a little bit later on. Now watch both of us be thoroughly and completely wrong.
We're absolutely going to be wrong.
All right, we have some words from the truck. At least one person says going to definitely be Warmth Returned.
Looks like Sigmason, the creator of the randomizer, has predicted 43 experience. Which obviously we know he rigs every seed, so he's got to be right.
Well, yes. Oh, we got another contributor to our truck is calling the 1 XP pickup. Now, there's only exactly one of those in the game, so we'll see if that's what it is. Getting started now.
And we're off.
Beautiful. So we'll get the stream synced up real quick, and as we get started, we're about to see what we'll get for that first pickup.
This pickup's kind of interesting because literally no other category that anytime you see any of these competitors play this game will ever get this pickup.
Oh man, possibly a little bit of nerves for Willson there as he stumbled on that first jump, and Ability Cell is that first pickup. So Shed, this probably tells us basically nothing about what we're going to see.
Oh yes, this ability cells can be useful, especially early, but it's not the most exciting thing in the world. And it says nothing about the direction these runners might be headed in.
Yeah, exactly. It's good to mention that there are exactly 2 pickups in the game. Well, not exactly. Oh. Well,
I was one pickup off.
All right, so Shed getting the victory close enough, with the Charge Jump being the first skill that they acquire. So what do you think we're going to see now that we've seen Charge Jump?
It's possible that they get something like Climb early, since that opens up a couple pickups that just Charge Jump doesn't have. But obviously we'll see. It is also Charge Jump the randomizer considers Charge Jump to be a vertical movement, so that opens up Black Root. Even as much as it sucks to do Black Root with just Charge Jump.
Trojan picking out one of the easiest to forget pickups off to the right side. The 63 experience, apparently, in this case. But it's very easy to forget if you get Charge Jump that you can go pick that up. We'll see 2 Keystones here as well.
Oh, it looks like Wilson's heading to left glades, although he's going to do fake flippers here real quick. Sees that it's an energy cell, was it?
Yes. Oh, that's actually
decides not to go back for it, but now he knows it's there, so.
All right, Trojan doing the same. Another Keystone. So we're seeing a lot of Keystones early on. There's an interesting combination with both Charge Jump and these Keystones. So it's going to open up a lot more of the map than maybe they'd normally be used to. What do you do in a case like this, Shed? Like, what do you prioritize?
Well, usually, even in this early game, I try and get to the wall jump tree pretty quickly, because there's a lot of pickups down here that require next to no skills to get. Although charge jump does open up a couple of the ones that you wouldn't normally be able to.
So they both stopped by the map monument in the glades, but the pickup nearby was not a map stone, as it often is, so they're not able to deposit a map stone in there to get the whatever's in there.
Oh,
baby. That
looks like we have the best pickup in the game. This is an early dash seed.
That's fantastic. Tell us some of the myriad ways the dash is going to help our runners in this seed.
Well, for one, as is quite obvious by the movement ability itself, it speeds everything up a lot. In addition to that, it can make a lot of the later and mid and late game much faster once you level up charge dash and have access to that and rocket jumps, namely.
Yes, rocket jumps are an extremely effective form of vertical movement at the cost of energy, of course. And both runners currently at 1, but they do know where they can get another one. So
looks like wall jump was a map stone, so I would expect both runners to go check the map monument now that they have a stone, but it's possible they might skip it for now and come back to it later.
It does appear that Wilson's going to make his trip back, so he's going to find out what's in that map monument. Now, something that is unique to Randomizer is this mapstone kind of fetch quest deal, which is where as you deposit mapstones into monuments across the world, you will get progressive items as you're going. The first monument, whichever monument you drop something in, the first monument, in this seed, it gives you an ability cell. And then as they go, the second monument will give you something, third, etc.
Notably, that doesn't matter what location those monuments are in. You could have the swamp monument be the first one you check, and it will still give you that first pickup.
So it looks like Trojan has a slight lead right now. They're checking basically the same stuff, but we now see Trojan's going to head into BRB just a few seconds ahead of Wilson doing the same. And, well, if charge jump BRB completely sucks, then maybe dash plus charge jump isn't totally terrible.
I would want to have air dash, but it doesn't look like... Actually, they have the ability points to level up all the way up there to air dash, but...
Yep, they've both done so, in fact. They have excellent. Identical XP counts, and they both have done the same leveling so far. Trojan leveled up... Trojan? What? Oh.
It looks like he was waiting for the slime to get out of the way.
There's a brief moment of just total confusion for me.
You don't usually see runners standing still unless they're lost and confused.
All right, and we are seeing for Wilson on the left, you're seeing how helpful air dash can be, and then he walks directly into the spikes. You saw some mouse movements of frustration there. Now, notably, Wilson did not check that top XP pickup. Oh, Trojan also eating a spiky grave. Oh, gosh.
Wow. And here you see the beauty of charge jump only Blackroot.
You say the word
These
beauty,
jumps.
but I think your definition of beauty differs from mine.
I don't know. I'm having fun.
So Trojan going up to check this 100 XP orb. Wilson is going to ignore it. No, he's going back.
He's going back for it.
But unfortunately, he dropped his other orb already, so he has to wait for it to come up to him. Oh, it rolled off!
Orb, please.
Oh, wow.
This is a sucky pickup to have to come back for.
Shed, on a scale of 1 to completely, how much would you say that you despise BRB?
I think it's okay. Takes a while, but that's about it. You got to do it eventually because the dash tree's in here, right? So.
Oh, Wilson. Well, let me ask you a follow-up question on that one. How much have you run all skills?
Quite a bit. And
right.
I would say about 70% of my runs die in this room.
Yep. It's good times. Both runners struggling a little bit, but Trojan is able to make his way up to the lantern that will light his way into the dash room. Wilson, I think, maybe trying to get a little bit overly fancy here. Trojan opted to just. Yeah, he's. Oh, he made it!
Yeah, Wilson decided to take this fancy fast route up the left here that you can only do if you have charge jump or bash grenade. But looks like he doesn't have that much practice with it and died a couple times on the way up.
Yeah, sometimes there's a lot to be said for just doing the slow but steady route, and that's mostly what Trojan did. He did a little bit of speeding up, but for the most part, he was doing the vanilla strats, and that seemed to pay off for him.
Trojan doesn't have an energy to skip the cutscene with.
I'm not even sure if he knows how to do that cutscene skip. I'm not sure he's used it before in any runs that he's done. But he might have learned it for Randomizer at some point. Meanwhile, Wilson climbing up to get his switch here. So far, pretty even match, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, they're doing about approximately the same stuff. Little bit of a differential here that was caused by Wilson dying a couple times on the way up, but what is the dash tree? The Sunstone.
Beautiful. That will certainly make both of them feel a little more confident. They already have one of the 2 dungeon keys they need taken care of.
Yep, just makes Go mode come that much faster.
Shed, I know we've used the term Go mode a whole lot in the commentary on these rando races so far, but for people who aren't familiar with that, tell us what Go mode means exactly.
So when a runner or a player of the randomizer says they're in Go mode, that usually means they have everything they need to go finish the game. And for us, that means visiting all the skill trees. That's part of the rules of the tournament, is that you have to visit all the skill trees before you can finish. And obviously, you need the Sunstone to enter the final dungeon and complete the game. Another important thing is that you also need to find the water vein, which will let you into the Ginso tree, since there is a skill tree in there. And as I said, we need to visit all the skill trees. So usually, if a runner has the water vein, the Sunstone, and the skills they need to find all the skill trees and complete the escape, then they're in Go mode, and they can go as fast as they want, skip any pickups on the way. They don't need to be looking for anything anymore.
It is worth noting that Go mode can definitely differ in terms of what skills you need. Meanwhile, we did see Charge Flame from the Raziel No Boulder XP, so an interesting pickup there that will give them the ability to open up the plants that are located throughout the game world. Unfortunately, both runners getting their Frankies killed, so it looks like they're not... I take that back. Trojan did not. He saved his. Wilson got his killed. I think maybe he was second-guessing his choice of actions there.
So the stompless strategy to get into Light Grenade is closed for Wilson, open for Trojan, although I don't believe Trojan has told us that he is willing to do that strategy.
Yeah, I took a look at his questionnaire earlier. There was a questionnaire which the tournament organizers sent out to the various entrants. And on Trojans, he had marked that he doesn't plan to do any of these stompless strats to do various areas. So he won't try to get into the left side of the map without stomp. He won't try to do the light grenade tree without stomp either. And I mean, as an experienced rando runner, you can certainly tell me their strats they don't seem super fun.
No, they're not. They're not especially fun. Take a little bit of practice, and even with that, they're still kind of difficult. It's kind of a last resort kind of thing.
So it's worth noting as well that Wilson also did not mark that he was going to do those things. Trojan heading up to left glades. Haven't seen anything super compelling yet. He's gotten a couple map stones, so there will be some more map monuments in his future, but otherwise, mostly just more keystones and some XP. What are you looking for right now to kind of break this open a little bit, Shed?
Well, so the players got Charge Flame. So that means the plants are open. They have a vertical movement and Charge Jump. So it's tough to say. Like, they have the things they need. It's just difficult right now. Things I would want at this point would be, well, you want to find Bash and Stomp, since those open up Valley completely. The entire left side of the map. Trojan taking a death, I think.
Yeah.
And then just deciding to altar. So you want to find Bash and Stomp since those are important opening up the map abilities. And so at this point, I'd expect the runners to go to the grotto area if they can. Maybe going through Hollow Grove.
Oh wow. All right. Well, there's Stomp from Mapstone, I believe, number 2. So
Yes.
that's fantastic.
Yep, that's important. That's an important one. It's possible Trojan just goes to check the light grenade tree right now since he can get in there and has dash, so it's easy. Yep. And there he goes.
So Trojan on the same wavelength as our commentator Shed. So, I mean, it's a clearly straightforward play. Light grenade's right here, and he's got what he needs to get there, so why not? Although, does he have charge dash yet? Because getting up to light grenade, I never want to do that stupid laser spinning wheel.
It's not that bad. It's just slower.
Dude, this is a speed run. I don't want to go slow.
Yep. Well, here he goes.
All right, let's see how many times he dies to the laser spinning wheel.
He doesn't have
wall jump. Meanwhile, Willson is exploring this side of the map and where the spider area is. So very different route for him. We're going to see what he finds as a result.
Ooh, this is a tough area to get out of with just charge jump. You have to take 2 damage boosts to get out of that little cranny.
Well, he did a pretty decent job of that, and he gets a health cell for his troubles, so not too bad. Trojan's reward for light grenade is the 68 coveted XP. Not really going to do too much for him, I guess. At this point, he's already got air dash.
I do have to say that is one of my favorite things about the version of the randomizer that we're running in this tournament is the randomized XP amounts.
I particularly like the, it's been mentioned that there's exactly one XP pickup that exists, but actually I'm kind of partial to the 2 XP. I really like that because it's not even like a specifically placed number. It just randomly can happen that way.
Yeah,
oh, this
Trojan
is very
going down to get
play.
the energy cell.
So that brings him to 4 energy, and now he can break his way into Moon Grotto. That's a very interesting play, as Willson gets his stomp now.
Now, since the players haven't found clean water, that is a sequence break to get that energy cell and go into Grotto this way.
However, I guess it's not technically a sequence break to go into Grotto in general, because as you can clearly see on Wilson's side, they have Grotto
there right now.
Yeah. So definitely, this is kind of a low-risk play if Trojan makes it, which he's actually not right now. He opened the door, but now we see him going back into BRB, and I wonder what he's thinking.
He's clearly thinking about something.
Yeah, he's having some sort of moment right now where he's not sure. Oh. Wilson making his way back out as well.
So grabbing the Grotto teleporter and going to check some other stuff.
Okay, so Trojan's coming back here to check this energy and then probably stomp his way into Moon Grotto. But he doesn't have wall jump. They still don't have wall jump or climb. Oh, that's terrible and hilarious.
What?
Okay, so we are seeing some left side glades from Willson. Some more level ups. Both runners are pretty much loaded on ability points, and I'm guessing the Trojan, given that he only has 1 right now, I'm guessing he probably, oh my gosh, he doesn't have wall jump. I'm guessing he must have spent a couple at some point.
Trojan watching the Spirit Tree cutscene. Most categories of the game will skip this cutscene, but a lot of randomizer runners will actually watch it since it grants you the use of this teleporter, which is useful for when you finally have access to Valley, as it is the closest one.
What's generally your preference, Shed, in terms of using or not using that teleporter?
So usually for me, it depends on when I get to it. A lot of the time, you'll end up with access to this area either through left glades or coming up through the Charge Flame area, and if I get there early, I will grab the teleporter. But if I'm already on my way to Valley, then I'll skip the cutscene and go straight all the way to the Valley teleporter.
Makes sense. So it's kind of it's a gut play depending on your current state, which of course, even if you're near go mode, could still not entirely pay off. But I guess if you're in actual go mode and you literally just have to go to trees, it makes total sense. Oh, Wilson is trying to navigate the Death Gauntlet here in reverse, but with only charge jump. Oh gosh, well, he's taking a swim. All right.
I don't think they can get out of the water right now.
Nope.
No wall jump, no climb, no bash. Nothing.
He does have air dash. He could just probably air dash over that platform.
Right?
Beautiful. 7 XP. All right. Oh, Wilson! Wilson, what are you doing? No,
What are you doing?
All right, so Wilson taking a death there, but it doesn't actually matter because all he picked up was 7 XP, so he doesn't care. And you're seeing Trojan, of course, travel through some of the territory that Wilson just explored earlier, so they're more or less even right now. Trojan probably still has the same little bit of advantage. Oh, in fact, he definitely has an advantage because he's got 5 energy now, and Wilson does not. So that's an interesting difference still separating them. Was that did Wilson glitch the bridge opening cutscene?
Did. It looks like he was trying to fall down to the left to the ability cell that's there, but missed and landed down here and left Kumo's hideout. Just
certainly not
a minor. No, certainly not. It doesn't really doesn't cost any time. Oh, that was double jump.
Oh my! These mapstones.
Mapstone 3 has double jump. Wow.
So, we were wondering what kind of seed we were going to see. Well, we're seeing a mapstone seed.
Apparently.
Oh,
clearly
gosh.
We're going to have Bash on Mapstone 5. That's my prediction.
Oh, Wilson. Oh. So yeah, without climb or wall jump. Oh, he's gonna get to check that ability cell now. It's mega energy, big deal.
And on Trojan's screen, we see the infamous Kuro cutscene since the players have Stomp.
That's a great point to mention because that's not a cutscene that you usually see until much later in the game. But Trojan getting his double jump now, so. Yeah, they're still more or less even on skills and capabilities and stuff checked. That really raises the question: what's going to be the difference? Is it just going to come down to execution, or are we going to see one of them make a decision that the other one's not going to match?
And that's part of the beauty of the randomizer. We have no idea.
Trojan's opting for this.
Wilson
Additional
have to get double jump
exploration.
again?
Yeah, I don't know if he died again, but he definitely died once before, and he had gone to get that ability cell, and then he was also checking the left side of Grotto.
Ah.
Oh man, Trojan's going to Horror Fields.
This is interesting. It's not that costly right now since he has Stomp, meaning he can grab this teleporter, which speeds up even later in the game when the players do eventually have to come here in go mode. That's a little bit of time saved for having this teleporter over the swamp one.
Yeah, this is an uncommon teleporter to get, but a very nice one to have. And Trojan does also acquire Charge Dash finally, so should make navigating Horror Fields a little easier. Should.
Wilson's mini boss excursion proving fruitless.
Oh,
he picks up 7 XP.
Yeah. You know that song, right? I was like,
no.
Banelings. Whoa. Don't mind me. It's all good. It's memes.
Bulletin everybody. He'll be here all week.
I actually will mostly not be here. Oh, goodness. Meanwhile, Wilson continues to explore the Moon Grotto and is coming upon the double jump tree. So he's just he's kind of exemplifying the strategy of just go check trees. If you can't think of anything better to do, then go check a tree.
Very good strategy, considering you have to do that anyway.
We'll see what he's going to get. Should be able to check this top XP pickup as well, and that's just XP, so not anything super exciting, but double jump gives him a keystone. Woo!
Well, it gives him the requisite 1 keystone to key dupe if he ever decides to do that. Yeah,
Trojan
screw you, Swarm.
crossing the front of the Ginso tree here. Yeah, I think both runners are just kind of like they're looking for the next thing that's really gonna open it up for them. They have a lot of options right now, but none of them seem particularly obvious.
I like this route that Trojan's taking right now, since Stomp and Charge Jump gives him easy access to the Stomp tree over in Swamp. So it's possible, well, hopefully we see him go over and do that, since it's rather cost-efficient time-wise.
Oh, there's grenade for Wilson.
That's important.
But he still doesn't have wall jumps, so he can't check that health cell. He does get the health regeneration. That will be pretty nice. Their health ticks up very gradually over time. Not a huge effect, but enough that it's nice.
An important thing about health regeneration is it can be a pseudo health cell in that it lets you survive at less than 1 health. So if you have 2 health and take 2 damage, you'll probably survive if you have a health regeneration.
Yeah, it acts just fast enough that you have a very high chance of surviving that. Wall jump for Trojan!
Finally!
Hello. The ability cell just before entering Swamp here, that's gonna be very nice for him.
The Triforce cell.
But of course, Wilson's got his grenade, and grenade is basically a strict upgrade over Charge Flame in every way. So he'll like that too.
Namely, because part of the modifications that the randomizer has made make grenade free to use. It normally costs energy in the base game, but in this game it's free.
Yeah, and it's mostly because, of course, it would suck a lot to get grenade early and be intended to use it as a movement tool, but you only get to use 2 of them. So this is definitely a lot better.
And way more fun.
Okay, Water Vein for Trojan at Stomp, so Trojan's done with keys. He's good. All he needs to do is get to those 6 remaining skill trees.
And he's probably going to look for Bash to do it. I would not be surprised to see him continue hunting.
Yeah, he has indicated on his questionnaire that he will do, or at least consider doing Sorrow Pass without Feather, which he also currently doesn't have. And for that matter, he doesn't have Wind activated, so Feather wouldn't help him all that much getting in. But yeah, Bash, I would expect both runners are going to need it. So together, we know where Wall Jump and Grenade are, but these 2 runners don't necessarily have that full information. They each have half the picture. So when are they going to make a hole? Who's going to get that first?
We'll have to see the routes that these runners take. So it looks like Trojan's going to be heading down into Grotto and Gumo's hideout here.
We see another visit down to Gumo's hideout by Wilson. Okay, it looks like he has unfinished business with this section down here. This Crusher section with the energy door. So yeah, when he came down here, he did not have sufficient energy to deal with this.
This is a kind of a notorious section among rando runners. Either you come way out of your way down here to come check it, and it's useless, or it ends up holding the 1 pickup that you needed, but you never checked it because it's way out of the way. Always one or the other, never both.
So a Death Gauntlet for Trojan, which of course we've seen Wilson go through. Another Mapstone, and given how Mapstones have done so far in this seed, you definitely want to collect those.
Unfortunate that he didn't have it this map stone when he went to Swamp, since that map pedestal is a little bit out of the way. But we'll see.
That's true. Now, there are 9 total map pedestals in the game. Collecting that 7 XP that Wilson had so much trouble with.
Easy now that he's got wall jump and double jump.
Oh boy. He's trying to open that door without going anywhere, but that's a little bit challenging. What does he get? Mega energy. Oh boy.
Much energy. Yeah, and he doesn't bother with trying to pick it up again.
Wilson trying to blow up that plant. It's a keystone. He had a little bit of trouble, but now he's through. And oh no, no, Wilson. There's something interesting I want to ask you about, Shed, as far as how you deal with this in a randomizer. When you go and traipse through the area a bit and collect a bunch of pickups, and then you die, how do you do? Like, how do you keep track of what you did and didn't get, and like whether you should go back and pick those up again when you come back to life? Like, do you bother, or do you just always go back and get everything, or something else?
I'd like to say that I try and remember which ones were and weren't useful, but in practice, I end up just getting everything again.
Oh no! Wilson's entering wall swamp from the other side that doesn't have wall jump, so he can't get in. Oh no!
Yeah, he can't get in this way.
Oh, and he's gonna have to alt R. Oh.
Trojan found grenade down in
yep.
left. I know.
So he's I would definitely say Trojan still has the lead here, but it is fair to note that he has not gotten the double jump tree, whereas Wilson hasn't gotten the grenade tree, so they're kind of even in that regard.
Wilson's also not gotten the stomp tree, which Trojan has.
Yeah, that's going to be the difference right now.
Question now becomes, though, which player finds dash first, or bash first? That one. They both have dash.
Wilson glitching out the Gumo cutscene to avoid spawning these lasers, which not a cutscene that you see super often in a speedrun. Mostly hasn't been in any real routes since like vanilla 80%. But good cutscene, skip to no. It's nice not to have lasers.
And then you have that one run where you forget to skip it or miss it, and you just go, it'll be fine. And then you run your face into a laser later on when you forget. Always.
Oh, Wilson, what are you doing? You just got wall jump. You can go in. You have charge jump. Go in the thing. Okay, he's going. So I guess I'll ask this question, not to suggest that that this is a negative or anything, but is there a part of the randomizers that you find tedious? And the direction of my question is, for example, this part where you have everything sort of, like you're missing like one or two things, right? Do you find this part possibly tedious, or is there any other part that you find tedious, or do you think they all are really interesting to deal with?
Personally, I find them all interesting. I like a lot more. I like all the parts of the randomizer, even this part where you're missing that one tiny pickup. I think it's kind of fun to go back and scour through everything. But I do know a lot of the other players. Maybe this isn't their favorite part.
It would certainly, I suppose, it would vary depending on mindset. And some runners would be like, "Oh, I live for this. Like, you know, any pickup could be the last one that I need."
It can be rather frustrating though when you spend 30 plus minutes in this section where there's just that one where bash is all you need to go finish, and you just can't find it.
And that's certainly what we're hoping not to see in this seed for either of these runners, really. But as for right now, we're still seeing them mostly traversing ground that each other have already kind of poked at. Neither of them has clean water, so there's a fair bit of stuff that's just kind of It's locked off to them. Now, when I say locked off, they each have 9 health. So theoretically, they could do a lot of swims, but they're not intended by the logic.
Swamp is hard, even with 9 health.
Yeah, you would mostly be looking at doing some of the ones in Glades and Grotto and Grove, I guess. So now we see Wilson is heading down to Light Grenade. Oh, he wanted to bash off the front, but he doesn't have bash. Oh. The lasers. Yes. Oh, 1 death. All right, so Trojan is ulted out of the double jump tree. So, yeah, they're back to pretty much even.
So at this point, if I'm Trojan, I think there's 2 options. Option 1 is that Bash is in Lost Grove. Option 2 is that Bash is in Horu. Both of which suck.
You know what? He's got a third option that we...
the Ginso tree. I completely forgot. He has the water vein now.
Yeah, we slightly elided this earlier. It was kind of a minor footnote at the time. But yeah, he's got the water vein. He's going into Ginso, and then there's a very good likelihood Bash could be in here. Okay, possible. First he's checking this grenade pickup on the right side, but then he'll go to Ginso.
Oh! We found it!
And he sweeps the mouse around in a celebratory fashion. So there you go. Bash was hiding behind grenade in the top right corner of the map. Now, what is Wilson gonna do?
Providing Trojan doesn't have too much trouble with Glideless Valley, that's go mode.
I would say that he probably has a fair bit of confidence he can do it. Trojan's definitely, he's got a very significant amount of experience playing this game. Even though he doesn't play it like regularly all the time, he has done quite a lot with this game, so he definitely should not be underestimated.
He's also known for his consistency.
Yeah, and gosh, and how. He just rattled off in some practice that he was doing prior to this race. He just rattled off 2 50-minute times on seeds that seemed fairly, fairly medium length. Like this looks like it could be around a 50 as well, assuming that he's good on Featherless, Sorrow, and Valley and stuff. So now we play the waiting game, and we wait and see, is Wilson going to go to that grenade spot to the right of Ginso? How long before he does?
First question is, does he remember that he hasn't gotten it yet? Has he been to that section, actually?
I have seen him doing some of Swamp earlier, so he has been around there, but he has not gone up there. Drawing the infinity symbol with his mouse as he sits through the Kuro cutscene there. Oh, we might see him do a lot more farming before he actually goes there, though. The Gumon seal for Trojan. Do you think we'll be seeing him make a trip to Forlorn Ruins?
I doubt it.
Yeah, he would have to be on some serious memes to be doing that, and I don't think he's going to chance it in a tournament race. So yeah, looks like he's heading to Valley. He's got his bash tree. He feels like he's done with Ginso, so here we go. Wilson finding the 1 XP. Lovely.
Thank you, Sigma.
Thank you, based Sigma. Alright, we're seeing Wilson is heading back towards the Ginso tree. Now, the real question is going to be, is he going to head into the Ginso tree, or is he going to stop and pick up that grenade spot first?
I was just thinking that it was interesting that he's grabbing this teleporter, since it looks like he's heading to the Ginso tree right now, but this is the closest non-Horu Fields teleporter to Horu, so it's not a bad one to pick up.
Correct. And most runners are not going out of their way to pick up the Horu Fields teleporter. It was only coincidence that Trojan decided to go up there and do that. But he will, of course.
Remembers.
Oh man, he wants to go in. Oh,
Go right. Go right.
No, go right, Wilson.
Yes.
He's going right.
We have a race.
Yeah, there we go. He's had a little trouble getting that aim, but
Fancy grenades.
there it is. And he sweeps the mouse around. He's excited. You gotta love those, like, you know, those mouse movements of excitement.
And we get some more. It is certainly a great feeling when you've been stuck in that, please, God, just give me bash now, please, and then you finally get it.
So we did gloss over it, but our truck is making sure that we don't ignore it. Trojan did pull off the fast stompless trick on the right side, managing to direct a spider shot to hit the rocks here instead of having to go over and stomp them. Just saving, I think it was 16 seconds or something like that. I forget the number. Let's say 8. Everything's 8 seconds, right?
Sounds about right.
I was trying to set up his
some trouble
Sara,
with
man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Going for.
Okay, he's not even bothering with the birds since he doesn't have feather. He's just going straight in with charge jumps. And successful strategy for him, no problem. Now, he did stop to pick something up. Do you think he actually needs something, or do you think maybe he's just kind of thinking, I need to pick things up because I'm supposed to pick things up, right? Like kind of an automatic reflex.
It's probably an automatic reflex. There's a couple pickups that I will still get when you're in this mode if you're since you're missing things like Clyde. But that one in particular, there's no possible way that the logic will put Clyde there. So
all right, so we're
probably just a muscle memory.
Bash grenades from Trojan. He has lots of tools at his disposal right now between charge jump and dash and double jump and probably triple jump. I haven't seen if he's actually leveled up. He hasn't. Okay. Oh. Okay, too many damage boosts. He also, I want to say that he has 3 keystones. Yeah, 3 keystones. So he's actually...
He's going to have to dupe here.
Yeah, he's short, so he not only has to navigate this section with, he did just learn triple jump, so there you go. But he's also going to need to key dupe, so he's going to need to do it multiple times. Oh! Now this is interesting. Meanwhile, Wilson is navigating the top part of Ginso, so he has decided he's not in go mode because he doesn't have feather.
Interesting. Maybe feeling less confident with glideless Sorrow strat. Although he's... Oh, I guess he's... Oh.
Oh, no. Now, that's an easy mistake to make. So what he just did there was he tried to key dupe, but he accidentally... Oh, Trojan just... Okay, no. Trojan's not bothering to dupe. But yeah, he wanted to key dupe, but he accidentally put all the keys in the door. And that actually means that you don't get the dupe. It only works if you put, at most, all but 1 key in there. So... Just, it's an easy mistake to make if you have enough keys to fill the door.
Especially, I don't know exactly what input method Wilson uses, but personally, I can input keys with the scroll wheel. So in all skills, I tend to just mash the scroll wheel there and put 3 in at once. And if I do that in his situation, you end up putting all 4 in.
Yep, exactly. I'm sure that a similar thing just happened to Wilson. So we got Trojan now is making his way to Misty Woods, and he's only got 1 tree left, so he's well on his way to victory. This definitely seems to be in the bag for Trojan. He's already done the hard part without feathers, so I can't see
spectacular spaghetti.
Yeah, I can't see Misty presenting too much of an issue. Again, Trojan has tons of experience with this area. Of course, usually with feather, but still, he's done his share of all skills runs.
Triple jump and ultra defense mean the feather issues are really not that bad.
And charge dash just makes it free.
Yep.
Wilson, unfortunately, has not really found anything to make his. I wouldn't really call it a gamble per se, but his choice to go to the top of Ginso pay off. It's not really doing anything for him so far. He's got some cells. He duped a lot. He has enough keystones for like everything, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. I'm not sure if he really internalized that there. I guess aside from Feather, if he considers Feather, okay, he just left.
Hi. All right.
That was weird. He was in the middle of the mini boss.
That's an interesting time to do that.
Is he gonna make his way to the valley? Is he just gonna try his luck? I think that might be what we're seeing. Trojan, meanwhile, he's on his victory lap. He's heading to Horror Fields.
Here we can just see the difference between knowing a strat like Glideless Sorrow and not being willing to do it. Although looks like Wilson's gonna try it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no better time to learn than right now, right? Like, and it's always something we talk about during some of these races, especially during the All Skills tournament. We talked a lot about whether runners were watching each other or not. So that is watching their opponents or not. And in that tournament, that was allowed because that was just a straight up, skill-based tournament, right? But this tournament has the on-the-fly routing. You are not allowed to watch your opponent. You are not allowed to find out what they find out. So neither runner knows, which means I would guess Trojan felt like maybe he was behind based on where Bash was. I don't know. What do you think, Shed?
It's hard to tell. Yeah, I like, especially when these runners are pretty similar in terms. So I would say Wilson's probably better at execution, but not as good at the randomizers. Whereas, so I would say these runners are about even. And knowing that, it's hard to say what they would feel at any given moment. It's probably better, and I know Trojan tends to feel this most of the time, is that you just feel like you're always behind. So it's possible that that's how he felt this run, but
that's a good point. We're seeing Trojan, of course, complete the final escape. Pretty sure that he got a first try door warp from both what I saw and what the truck is reporting. But always a challenging trick, but Trojan seems to be very consistent at. He's going for fish strats because he's a big ol' ham, and he does not have climb, so he can't do grenade jump even if he wanted to.
Okay, he just say it's 7 hours, so it's all right.
So very, very convincing performance by Trojan. He's walking away with the victory, and Wilson still has 3 trees to finish up. I believe it says on our. Well, it's unclear from. I can't tell whether that's the restream overlay. I think it is telling me that some of the trees haven't been collected because they're dark. But yeah. He has just climb and charge jump to go, and we'll see how he does on Featherless Sorrow.
Yep, a very good game from Trojan. Pretty clean. Didn't see too many what I would call mistakes. Routing was pretty good. All in all, a good run.
Now here's what I wonder. Will we see more key duping from...
Gotta have more keys. Always more keys.
I mean, what if you run out, dude?
If I accidentally fill every key door that I haven't opened yet.
I want to say that they acquired extra air dash at some point, but I don't see Wilson making use of it. Yeah, some of these are kind of.
I don't remember.
All right, and there's time for Trojan. He got a 46-28. Congratulations to him. He will move on to the next round of the tournament with a very, very solid performance today. Wilson shouldn't be too far along. It should be around, I would guess, around 10 minutes at this point, especially now that he's just reached the charge jump tree. It should actually be less than that.
Yep, gets the turbo his way to the climb tree. Hopefully, remembering that he doesn't actually have glide.
Well, presumably he'll just alt-R straight out, and we'll see a Misty trip now. Good old Misty Woods. I'll ask you this, Shed, because I know that you haven't been around the community as long as like Vanilla Ori, but a lot of runners I have found call Misty Woods their favorite area of the game. Tell me, is Misty Woods your favorite area of the game?
Easily.
Wow. All these people with wrong opinions. Jeez.
It's just so much fun. Like the categories I've run or tried to run, in the case of Oreo, it's just so much fun in this area. You have charge dash, it's really just the movement. The movement in here is always just great, no matter what category you're running. Even randomizer, when you get here, you're usually pretty late along and have a lot of abilities.
Yeah, and Wilson is really exemplifying how beautiful the movement can be here, with just some absolutely incredible movement. It's definitely worth pointing out that Wilson is one of the top all skills speedrunners in the world, 5th place, the 31:17 PB. So he's showing like he's not a slouch in terms of playing this game. Basically, this victory for Trojan, because these two runners in terms of the randomizer are very evenly matched. This really came down to that bash. That decision that Trojan made to just go there slightly earlier than Wilson did. Wilson checked slightly more things, and that was it. That was the whole difference.
Yep, and Trojan deciding that he's willing to do Glideless Sorrow, basically immediately and just head straight there, whereas Wilson decided to check a couple pickups first as well, so that lost him a little bit of time.
Yeah, the top of Ginso play. Definitely not doing Wilson any favors tonight, unfortunately. I guess this morning for him, since he's in Sweden. But yeah, more beautiful movement from him. He has so much energy, so he can just charge dash everywhere. Oh, it's a thing to watch. So Shed, as we're watching the last few moments of this run, what are your thoughts? Did we get kind of the matchup that we were expecting to see here tonight? Was there anything that surprised you during this match?
No, that's about what I was hoping to see. It was a close race. Yeah, they were pretty much neck and neck for most of the early game and the mid game even. Just came, as we said, it just came down to that one bash check.
And everyone's favorite trick, door warp, tripping Wilson up just a little bit.
Taking another victim.
I'm not even going to bother trying to count attempts because no one has ever successfully counted door warp attempts, ever.
There it is.
But he got it on attempt number N.
5. 5th attempt, our truck is saying.
Oh, but there's already disagreement.
Oh.
I'm telling you, no one has ever successfully counted door warp attempts.
We'll compromise. He got it on the 5th and a half try.
All right, sounds good. Let's watch this final escape and listen to this music as he finishes this up. Interesting to note that yet again, the Sleeper's completed with no clean water for both runners. It's very, very common in these seeds to have to go without, but by the time you get 9 health and ultra defense, it's easy to just swim your way through.
Yep. Certainly not an essential pickup at all. And we're now holding right.
Indeed, some more fish strats for the fans from Wilson, and he'll hold right until completion here for another minute or so. So congrats to Trojan Dude. He is going to advance to the next round. And if I recall correctly, he's going to face somebody that I will totally remember.
Winner of Mad Insane and
that one.
The winner of Terra and Salandriel, I believe.
That is correct. Good call. And so he'll have to await the results of those matches. There will be 2 matches that have to happen before he can find out his opponent. But as one of our truck folks, Grimelios, points out, they are actually just all facing off against the randomizer. again, shout outs to our truck tonight that was composed of Meldon Tarragon, who's also one of the tournament organizers, Grimelios, and Stephen 123505. Thank you guys so much for your help during the race.
Thank you also to Hydra on the restream, doing a great job.
Agreed.
And we're done. GG.
We're going to be inviting our good friend Trojan Dude in for a quick chat about his victory here. Let's grab him. And there he is. The victorious runner, Trojandude12, also known as Dude12. How are you doing, friend?
Yo.
Indeed. Yo, what's up, guys?
Trojan, congratulations on the victory, and just give us your first thoughts about, what that seed was like and how you feel.
Well, first off, thank you very much, guys. Secondly, that was actually a really fantastic seed. I actually had a lot of fun rooting that seed, especially in the mid game. I think you could kind of tell my mind was in a million places when I went between BRB and like alt-Ring to Glades like about 5 times in a row. I'm just like, I don't know what to do with anything.
Yeah, we noticed that moment of just stopping there and standing still, trying to figure out what you were doing.
Because the thing was, I had a moment of like, I opened the grotto door, I'm like, crap, I don't have wall jump or climb. I can't actually do this. Well, I think I could have, but it would have been too much pain, so I just decided not to.
So, the winning play for you, for the most part, there were kind of two. The first one was Bash. It was the fact that it was at that location to the right of the Ginso tree. And you went through, obviously, a lot of stuff before you went up there, but at the time that you went to the Ginso door, what exactly made you be like, okay, I need to go over there and check that spot?
So, I think... well, obviously one of them was find grenade, which I felt like both of us were going to find grenade. It wasn't in like that weird of a spot. However, as I was starting to go through some of the more like iffy pickups, like you sometimes don't need to get these because they're very out of the way. I was like, okay, I think the seed is telling me Bash is going to be like some of the pickups on the way to Bash or on the way to the Bash tree or like that grenade door. Because we had water veins super early in the seed. And I'm like, they want us to go over there for some reason. So as soon as I got grenade, I was starting to have it in the back of my mind to go over to Ginso. And once I had already like gotten it in my mind that I was going to possibly just do everything like bashless, glideless, the rest of the game anyway, but just getting Bash was like just made it a million times easier to deal with.
It's interesting to note that both you and Wilson checked that pickup when you opened the Ginso door. So you, as in terms of relative to yourselves, you both got Bash at the same time. It just happened that you were there first.
Oh, really? So he went there later? Like, did he go to had he gone to Stomp or anything? And or what was the difference between us?
Basically, he just went around checking a couple other extra pickups, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was just that little extra bit of like, have I checked everything, or should I go on to Ginso right now?
Yeah.
Another thing to compare the two of you, and probably actually Shed brought this up at the end of the race. I hadn't even realized how important this play was, but you opted to leave Ginso immediately after Bash. Whereas Wilson did not. So I think this is almost more of a question from Wilson, but from your perspective, I want to know, did you feel like not having Feather? Did you feel like I'm just good? Like I'm in go mode. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah, no, I was leaving it regardless of whether I'd gone Bash or not. I was leaving and going to do the rest of the game because it was just, I just didn't find at that point and how the seed was going really fast. I was like, if I don't find Glide now as I'm going through these pickups on the way to Bash, I'm never going to find it in time. So I just made an executive decision just to leave like the Bash tree right away. There was literally no point. I already had Sunstone like from early on in the seed. And I was like, well, there's really no reason. I was essentially in go mode.
Yep. So it looked like Wilson, when he got to the Bash tree, decided to keep going in the Ginso tree in the off chance that Glide was up there. Was there any consideration in your mind? So it sounds like not, but was there any consideration just to check a couple things?
No, absolutely zero. I literally checked that 100 XP because it's right there. And I was like, all right, I'm just leaving after that. There was like, when you have most of that stuff, you can actually do a lot of the late game stuff without Feather. Surprisingly enough, that was one of the things as I was getting more and more into the routing and what quote unquote go mode was in practice. I realized that as long as you have like a lot of vertical movement abilities, you don't need Glide. So having like triple jump and having ultra defense is completely fine. As you can see, as I was trying to key dupe and spaghettiing the first about 4 attempts of that.
Wilson had a good old time trying to key dupe as well, but yeah, key dupes are not anyone's friend.
Yeah.
I do want to. Sorry, go ahead, Shed.
I was just gonna say, it seems like that mindset of being perfectly okay with going glideless is what won you this race.
It's actually something that I have to think. I think it's you and Hydra. I think because when I started doing races with you guys, doing singles, even with our doubles practice, I started to realize more and more like, Glide's really nice, but it's just like, it's not a necessity. It's a nice to have.
Well, isn't that don't we often find that that's true of so many of our skills as we go through? Actually, you don't really need wall jump, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you fall down a wall into some spikes.
Many times. Well, Trojan, any parting thoughts for our viewers and or for your opponent?
Well, I mean, first off, so really funny thing, Wilson's been embracing going against me, and he this morning when he woke up, he changed his avatar to a Trojan horse. I was like, you are just amazing, dude. Like, no, but like seriously, I really knew that I had to push myself in this match, mostly because Wilson's very unpredictable, and he is, like, as I've described a bunch of times about him, he is an absolute madman. He will just charge dash bash everything in anger and hate, and will just go as fast as possibly can, like faster than a bullet train. So I knew that if I was going to go up against that in the late game, I had to make more aggressive choices. So I'm glad it sounded like it was pretty close most of the time, which I hope that put it on for a very good race.
Well, I would definitely say that. Yep. Shed, any parting thoughts for our viewers here at this late hour?
Only to come back for our races later in the week. We promise to provide more great races as this one was.
That sounds like a great idea.
By the way, I don't want to cut you off. One other thing I thought was hilarious. I just PB'd by 3 minutes.
Oh, nice, dude. Congrats.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So that was just like, all right, cool.
Of course,
time
as
to
we
do
know, PBs are the ultimate measure of skill in randomizer.
Yeah. Totally, man.
But somehow they still feel real good. So congratulations to you again on your victory and your PB. And good luck against your next opponent when that is determined. As it happens, the next currently scheduled race in the tournament is between Terra and Salandriel to determine who will face Mad Insane. That is on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So make sure to check that out. But also, there's a couple days in between now and then, so there may still be another another match scheduled during that time. So keep your eyes peeled on this channel. And if you are not already on the Ori Discord, you should get on there so that you can find out when the upcoming matches are. But for now, that's going to do it for us. On behalf of the entire crew tonight, Hydra, Grimelios, Meldon, Steven, and my broadcast partner, Shed, thank you all for watching. Have a great night.
See ya.